Claire Thompson was stocking products on the shelves of the Sim supermarket when she heard an uncontrollable desperate sobbing from a child coming from the 7th aisle. She left the box of cereal and ran toward the sound. She found a little girl about 6 years old sitting on the floor with the palms of her hands pressed against her ears, rocking back and forth. The girl was hugging a fox stuffed animal and crying so hard that she was starting to choke. Around her, shoppers were walking by quickly. Some stared at her, others deliberately looked away. A woman muttered, "Where are her parents? Someone should calm this child." Claire knelt several steps away from the girl, trying not to invade her personal space. She immediately recognized the signs. Her younger brother was autistic, and she had seen hundreds of times exactly the same sensory meltdowns happen to him. "Hello, sunshine," said Claire softly. "My name is Claire. It seems like everything is too noisy and too bright right now, does not it?" The girl did not look at her, but her rocking slowed a little. "I will help you make it quieter, okay? I will not touch you, I will just make it calmer here." Claire stood up and quickly turned off the overhead fluorescent lights in that section of the store using the server switch. The intense brightness was replaced by soft natural light coming through the windows. Then she positioned herself between the girl and the main aisle, blocking the girl from the shopper's gazes. "A little better?" asked Claire softly, kneeling again. The girl slowly lowered her hands from her ears. She was still crying, but not as desperately. "What is your name?" asked Claire. "Sophia," whispered the girl. "What a beautiful name, Sophia. Are you here with someone, with mom or dad?" "With dad. We got lost from each other. There were too many people and too much noise. I could not find him and everything became unbearable." Sophia, breathing, began to speed up again. "It is okay, we will find your dad, but first let us make sure you can breathe well. Can you hug your fox very tightly? Squeeze it with all your strength." Sophia hugged the fox-stuffed animal tightly. The deep pressure calmed her nervous system. This trick Claire had learned thanks to her brother. "Well done. Now can you name me 3 things you see right now?" "My fox, your face, and that green box over there." "Excellent. Now 2 things you hear." "Your voice and the hum of the refrigerator." "Wonderful. 1 thing you can touch." "The soft fur of the fox." "You did wonderfully, Sophia. Your breathing has calmed down a lot. Let us go find your dad, okay? I will walk beside you." Claire stood up and extended her hand without insisting, just offering. Sophia looked at the hand for a long time and then slowly extended hers and took it. They walked through the store, Sophia still hugging her fox and Claire walking beside her, radiating calm and confidence. When they turned the corner toward the front of the store, Claire saw a man in a business suit talking in panic with the store manager. His voice was tense with fear. "She is 6 years old, she is autistic, she was right next to me and suddenly disappeared. Please, I need to check your security cameras, I need to find my daughter." Dad. Sophia let go of Claire's hand and ran toward the man, who immediately lifted her into his arms and tears ran down his face. "Sophia, thank God, I was so scared I turned around and you were no longer there. It was too noisy, Dad, too many people, I could not breathe, but Claire helped me, she made it quieter and helped me calm down." The man looked at Claire for the first time and his expression changed from panic to immense gratitude. "You found her, you helped her, she had a sensory meltdown in the 7th aisle. I just calmed the environment a bit until she could recover. I have an autistic brother, I recognize the signs. I do not even know how to thank you. Sophia has difficulties in crowded places, but she wanted to go shopping with me. I think we were managing fine, and then my phone rang with an urgent work question. I got distracted for 30 seconds and she disappeared. I am sorry." A shrill voice interrupted the moment Claire manager Patricia approached them, her face red with anger. "Claire Thompson, was it you who turned off the lights in the 7th aisle?" Something was happening to the girl. "I do not care what was happening to her. You violated the entire store operation. The shoppers are complaining you abandoned your shelf stocking duties. This is completely unacceptable." "Patricia was helping my daughter," intervened the man. "My daughter was in trouble, and Claire helped her when no one else did." "I do not care if she was helping the president's daughter. She violated the store rules. Claire, you are fired. Effective immediately. Collect your things from the locker and leave." Claire felt the ground sink under her feet. She had worked at the supermarket for 3 years, gradually paying off debts for her mother treatment. She needed that job, but she also could not regret having helped Sophia. "I understand," said Claire quietly. "I will collect my things." "Wait," began the man, but Claire was already heading to the stockroom, trying to hold back the tears. She collected her things from the locker in minutes, some personal items, spare uniform, photo of her brother. She had just been fired for helping a little girl for doing the right thing. Claire was walking through the parking lot with a box of things in her hands when she heard footsteps behind her. "Excuse me, Miss Claire, wait." She turned and saw the man from the store running toward her. Sophia was holding his hand. "I am so sorry," said the man, a little out of breath. "I am sorry you were fired for helping my daughter. It is outrageous." "It is okay. I do not regret helping Sophia. She needed someone and everyone else just passed by." Precisely for that reason, I need to talk to you. My name is David Fitzgerald. I am the Chief Executive Officer of Fitzgerald Industries. I would like to offer you a job. Claire looked at him in astonishment. You helped my daughter when no one else did. You immediately understood she was autistic and knew exactly how to calm her. You were patient, kind, and acted effectively. Those are the qualities I need in a person. Mr. Fitzgerald, I stock products on the shelves of a supermarket. I do not have qualifications for any corporate position. I am not offering you a corporate position. I am offering you the position of specialist companion for Sophia, a person who understands autism, who can help deal with overload situations, who can teach me to be a better father for my autistic daughter. You want to hire me to help Sophia? Yes, full-time employment benefits package, salary 3 times greater than what you received at the supermarket. Your job will consist of supporting Sophia, helping her in social situations, teaching her coping strategies, advocating for her needs, and educating me and my team about autism so we can support her better. I am not a certified therapist or special educator. No, but you have life experience. You said your brother is autistic. That means you understand things that no professional training can teach, and most importantly, you saw my daughter in trouble and help her without hesitation. It is exactly the type of person I want to see by Sophia's side. Claire helped me when everyone else scared me, added Sophia quietly. She made the light dimmer. She helped me breathe. I want her to stay with us, Dad. Claire looked at the little girl she had just lost her job for, but who was now offering her something better, a decent salary, and the opportunity to really help someone instead of just stocking shelves. All right, said Claire. Yes, it will be an honor to work with Sophia. Excellent, you can start on Monday. The Human Resources Director will contact you and inform you of all the details, contract, salary, benefits. But Claire, I need you to know something today. You did not just help my daughter calm down. You showed her that when things go wrong, there are people who will help without judging. It is a gift for which I can never repay you. The following Monday, Claire began her new job. David Penthouse was enormous, floor-to-ceiling windows, expensive furniture rooms, whose purpose she could not even determine, but Sophia room was different, carefully designed as a calm space with soft lighting, noise-absorbing curtains, a heavy blanket, and shelves full of stuffed animals. I tried to make it comfortable for autistics, explained David, but I am learning on the go. Her mother died when Sophia was 2 years old. I raised her alone, and I do not always understand what she needs. I have hired all possible specialists and therapists, but Sophia still struggles, and then you calmed her in the supermarket in 5 minutes. What she needs is someone who simply understands. In the following weeks, Claire worked with Sophia on strategies for dealing with overload situations. She taught her deep breathing techniques, helped her identify her triggers, created social stories for difficult situations, but most importantly, she advocated for Sophia's needs, explaining to David that his daughter was not being capricious when she could not make eye contact or got upset by unexpected changes. She needs to be warned before changes, explained Claire to David one night after Sophia had a meltdown due to a sudden change of dinner plans. To autistic people often need time to mentally prepare for changes. What for you seems like a small spontaneous decision, for Sophia feels like chaos. She needs structure and predictability. It is not bad, and it does not mean lack of flexibility. It is simply how her brain works best. David listened and learned, and Claire watched as the relationship between father and daughter transformed. David stopped trying to make Sophia behave normally and began to consider her needs. He allowed her to use headphones in noisy places. He warned her before changes. He understood that Sophia's repetitive movements, the rocking, the hand flapping, were not a problem to eliminate, but coping mechanisms that needed to be respected. You changed our lives, said David to Claire 3 months after she started her job. Sophia is calmer and happier, and most importantly, I finally understand my daughter. For 4 years I tried to fix her when what she needed was for me to accept her as she is. Sophia does not need to be fixed. She needs support and understanding. They are different things. As the months passed, Claire's role expanded beyond just supporting Sophia. She began advising David Company on accessibility and inclusion and diversity initiatives. She trained his human resources department on how to create conditions for autistic employees. She helped design sensorially comfortable spaces in the offices of Fitzgerald Industries. Now you are not just helping Sophia, noted David, you are changing the way my entire company thinks about disability and accessibility, because when you start to understand autism through one person, you start to see how many barriers exist for all neurodivergent people. Your workplace can also be accessible for autistic adults. Flexible schedules, quiet work zones, clear communication. It is not hard, you just have to think differently. At some point between teaching Sophia calming techniques and educating David about autism, Claire realized she was falling in love not just with Sophia but also with David. She saw how he strived to be a good father, how he listened, learned, and completely changed his parenting approach because he loved his daughter enough to admit he had been doing everything wrong. And David was also falling in love with the woman who saw his daughter in trouble and helped her without hesitation, who lost her job because she put a child well-being above the store rules, who changed his understanding of autism and his relationship with his daughter. I'm in love with you, confessed David one night when Sophia was already asleep. I tried not to pay attention because you work for me. I do not want to complicate things, but Claire, you are the most extraordinary person I have ever met. You are patient, compassionate, knowledgeable. You have made my daughter's life better. You have made my life better. I'm in love with you too, confessed Claire, but David, Sophia always first. If we decide this, if we try to date, her needs must be our priority. No confusion, no disruption to the stability she has gained. Agreed, Sophia always first. They dated carefully for 1 year, making sure Sophia was comfortable with the developing relationship. Sophia, for her part, was delighted. Does that mean Claire will stay forever? Asked Sophia when they explained that she and Claire were dating, not just working together, but that she would live with them. Would you like that? Yes, Claire understands me. She does not get angry when I need her to be quiet, or when I cannot look people in the eyes. With her, everything becomes less scary. 2 years after the encounter in the supermarket aisle, David proposed to her, not with some grand public gesture that would overload Sophia, but quietly at home in the presence of the excited Sophia. Claire Thompson, you saved my daughter in the supermarket and then changed our 2 lives. You taught me to be the father Sophia needs. You showed me that autism is not a problem to solve, but a trait to understand and consider. You made our family. Will you marry me? Will you officially become Sophia, mom, and my wife? Yes, said Claire through tears, yes to everything. At their wedding, Sophia was the flower girl with noise-reducing headphones decorated with flowers matching her dress during the reception, which was held in a sensorially comfortable venue with controlled lighting and quiet zones. David gave a toast that made everyone cry. 3 years ago, my daughter had a sensory meltdown in a crowded supermarket. Dozens of people walked past her. One person stopped a sales floor employee who recognized autism thanks to her brother and knew exactly how to help Claire calm Sophia, help her find me, and was fired for violating the store rules by turning off the lights to reduce the sensory load. I left that store and told Claire, now you work for me. I think I offered her the job in gratitude for helping Sophia. I did not know I had met the woman who would change our entire life. Claire taught me to be a better father. She taught my company to be more accessible. She gave Sophia stability, understanding, and she gave me love when I had resigned myself to raising my daughter alone. They fired Claire from the supermarket for doing the right thing. I'm grateful every day that it happened. Claire Toast was characteristically modest. 3 years ago, I was stocking products on the shelves, paying debts, living paycheck to paycheck. Then I heard a little girl crying in the 7th aisle. I recognized the sensory overload because my brother experiences the same thing. I helped Sophia calm down, and I was fired for disrupting the store operation. David offered me a job that same day, not out of pity, but because he understood that understanding autism through life experience matters. Working with Sophia became the greatest honor of my life. It taught me that autistic people do not need to be fixed or adjusted to the norm. They need to be understood and for conditions to be created that suit them. David gave me a job when I lost mine for doing the right thing. Sophia gave me purpose. Both gave me a family I never expected. Years later, when Sophia grew up and became more talkative, she would tell her version of the story. When I was 6 years old, I got lost in the supermarket, explained Sophia in her precise and literal way. Everything was too noisy and too bright. I could not find Dad. I sat on the floor and cried. Everyone walked past me except Claire. She made the light dimmer and helped me breathe and found my dad, and then they fired her for helping us. Dad said now she works for me, and he hired her. Now she is my mom, not the mom who gave birth to me. She died when I was little. My real mom is the one who understands that I am autistic and that is okay. Claire saved me in the supermarket, and then she saves me every day by teaching Dad to understand me.